Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Tuesday, July 8th. Looking at hot and dry conditions continuing over the next couple of days, with a mostly dry cold front building in late Wednesday. How about to bring in some shower and thunderstorm chances over the next couple of days? I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. Overall, hot and dry conditions will continue over the next couple of days. Temperatures will peak both today and Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s to upper 90s across our lower elevations, perhaps some low triple digits across some of our lowest elevations. But looking ahead, we do have some isolated showers and storms returning later today, and those chances will continue for Wednesday and Thursday. Series of systems and fronts building in from the Pacific, helping to support some breezy winds. Conditions remaining mostly dry, but we might see some showers, virga, and a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms possible over the next several days as temperatures cool about 5 to 10 degrees for Thursday and Friday. But before we get the cooler temperatures, we do have some critical fire weather conditions that are expected there on Wednesday, where a fire weather watch is in effect. But looking ahead towards this weekend, back to hot and dry as we finish out the week and head into next week. And taking a quick look at satellite imagery for you this morning. Ridge-X has a high pressure overhead, keeping skies clear. Overall, I can see a weak disturbance there off the coast of California up into Oregon. That's going to be helping to send a shortwave trough up into our area this afternoon and evening, with some isolated showers and storms possible further north. And a look at the bigger picture for you guys. So as you can see, that low off the coast, pretty dry core, but still some moisture there on the northeast edge. That'll be a shortwave trough lifting northeast into our area today, with a bigger system rolling in heading into tomorrow, so late Wednesday into Thursday morning, packing some stronger winds as that boundary builds in out of the northeast Pacific. And your weather look for the next 5 days. Mostly today is just going to be a slight chance for showers and storms. Those chances do expand region-wide for Wednesday, where there's a fire weather watch in effect due to a combination of gusty winds and low relative humidity. But turning to Thursday, conditions dry out as best chances for showers and storms shift east, with dry conditions back region-wide as we finish out the week. And here's a look at where our watches, warnings, and advisories are currently standing. Again, that fire weather watch in effect for much of our area. This is where fuels, critical level fuels, as well as very gusty winds and low relative humidity will lead to some very elevated fire weather conditions out there for Wednesday. But again, any of these days here with these breezy winds and low relative humidity, certainly something to keep in mind on practicing fire safe behavior out there. And taking a look at minimum RHs both today and Wednesday. As you can see, it's going to be single digits and teens for the most part, so very dry dew points here at the surface, very dry air mass. And that's why we're not expecting a great deal of precipitation with some of these showers and storms that may develop, as the surface is going to be fairly dry, so expecting the bulk of that to evaporate before it reaches the surface, mostly virga, dry thunderstorm-esque. And here's high temperatures for you today. So warmest day so far this week. Highest pull into those 80s and 90s. Low triple digits around Twin Falls out west towards Boise. And thunderstorm outlook for you today. Again, best chances are going to stay further north. We're going to start off the day very dry, but heading into this afternoon and evening, best chances up in the Central Mountains, Montana Divide region. SPC's outlook does keep things, again, further north, but wanted to highlight this is the HREF model probability of thunder here on the right to show a little bit farther expansion of about a 10 to 20% chance down into places like Idaho Falls to the Teton Valley and Wyoming border region. So certainly something to keep in mind there, but overall conditions should stay fairly isolated today. And winds will be on the rise starting today, peaking for your Wednesday and Thursday. Gusts today about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And for your Wednesday, another hot day, starting out the day there in the 50s and 60s. Afternoon highs still in those 80s to upper 90s. And for Wednesday, that cold front will be building in later in the day, so expecting mostly dry conditions to start the day. As that front swings through later in the day, some showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop, and with a very dry surface environment, we are expecting maybe some gusty outflow winds with some of those shower and thunderstorm development region-wide there for Wednesday. And just winds overall, so this is not including thunderstorms, but just winds overall, we'll be seeing an increase for your Wednesday, wind gusts about 25 to 40 miles an hour. And heading into Thursday, noticeably cooler now, so we're starting to get the impact of that cold front departing east into Wyoming. 40s, 50s, and 60s with afternoon highs back in the 70s and 80s. And best chances for thunderstorms on Thursday will be further north and east along the Montana border up towards Island Park, Teton Valley into Wyoming. But that's going to be a secondary trough working through Montana. Not a ton of moisture working over the Continental Divide into our area, so that'll keep things mostly dry for Thursday. And wind gusts on Thursday still staying fairly breezy, about 25 to 40 mile an hour gusts. And heading into Friday, fairly similar temperatures to what we saw there on Thursday. Bit of a backdoor cold front swinging through is going to help turn the winds out of the northeast, which will keep conditions fairly cool, actually below normal for this time of year, as we finish out the work week. And max wind gusts on Friday will be lower than what we saw on Wednesday and Thursday. Only difference on Friday being winds will be out of the northeast, kind of an atypical direction for us as our overall general flow here in southeast Idaho is more of that southwest, and westerly flow. And heading into the start of the weekend, dry conditions are back region-wide. It's happening in those highs, returning back into the 80s and 90s as we head into early next week as well. As you can see there, Sunday and Monday, warm temperatures are here to stay as we head into the middle part of July. And no big changes there in the 6 to 10 day outlook, taking us through the 17th. Above normal temperatures, below normal precipitation. And we may start to see the breakdown of that ridge in the 8 to 14 day period, so a slightly less confidence there on the below normal precip. But overall, warm and dry conditions are expected to continue as we head through the middle part of July. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome Tuesday.